Oh, yeah, all right. Oh, there we go. Everybody, this is your girl, LaShawn the Voicestress,
It's me, Deuce Terry.
and we are, okay, it is unmuted. So we are here for another week of course, the Late Night Hype Show podcast version. And we have a wonderful guest tonight. But of course, before we get into our guests, we just got to tell you all the wonderful things we have going on because everything we do, we want to involve the community, our friends, and our family because it's real. That's really all we do it for anyway. Um, so update with the radio stations. We are up to 9 stations now. And our website will be done soon so you can see them all in one place and the times that we're on each station. However, we have some stations that have us on demand, so you can go hear our show at any time of the day. They will play the current week one, but you can hear it anytime. And so we're going to get those embedded like a live listen and also on demand on the website. So that's coming up pretty soon. Um,
BLB Podcast.
BOB podcast is coming November the 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. We have some wonderful guests lined up. They are BOB members. We're going to tell you all about how to get started with the BOB membership. And if you don't have a business, you can become a client and receive discounts with your client version of the BOB membership. So definitely don't leave that out. Right now, we are broadcasting on 8 different channels, and we want to know what city and state you are from,
Gonna tap in.
what platform you are watching this from. As you
Comment.
can see, we do have an in studio behind us. We're actually on the set, but for the podcast version, when we don't have an in guest studio, we do it this way. So if you are in the Charlotte area, you got a business, entertainer, all that good stuff, come on to our studio. We would love to interview you live and in person. But in the meantime, podcast is just fine as well. What else we got going on? Tipping Point podcast coming soon. We don't have a date for that just yet. We will be putting out some other content. We're in the Carolinas, update coming soon for that. And we've just been busy, y'all. Yes. We didn't bring them down here. Oh, but once you go to our website, you can see everything. But of course, we have our books published. I did also publish a third book called The Kinsman Redeemer and The Avenger of Blood. It's kind of like about duality, like, characters and a specific character that is from the Bible. It's not like a religious book per se. It does give some perspective. Um, but it basically shows how somebody can do something that may be deemed as bad, but when you look at it from a cultural context, you might look at it a little bit different than the black and white cutout, from what we all see on a day to day. What else we got? We got oops.
Okay, it's fine.
Um, Daylight Hype is coming up. So the we're gonna kind of like chill out on the announcements, like for some things until we get closer to the date because we
Finished
really,
production.
yeah, we
Final
want to,
product.
yeah, we want to
Mhm.
make sure we have a lot of content and content that's good to go.
Just know that we're always working though.
Always working.
No days off.
And we are for hire, definitely for hire for your voiceover or your narration services. We currently are under contract right now for a Christian love story. It's such a wonderful story, and we can't wait for that to go out to the public. We'll make announcements as the person who hired us gets close to finishing the publication and as we finish our side, what we have to do for that. But yeah, that's definitely one thing that we do. We do narrate voiceovers or anything like that you may
And
need.
if you're an author, or if you own a car wash, or if you sell eyelashes online in your online boutique, holler at us and we can do promotions on one of our radio platforms.
Yes, we do have sponsorship packages that are up if you want constant rotation on a monthly basis.
Mhm.
you don't have to lock in, but we do have packages that are cheaper if you lock in, or you can just buy like one commercial slot at a time or per week or whatever. So we do have that.
Go to our website, hit the link.
Yeah, so let me see, do I have that link? I can actually queue that up at some point in the show. But anyway, other than that, like we do have a lot of stuff going on, and we're like so happy to be bringing this to you. We got some current events
What's
that
happened lately?
yeah, so of course, Cobra Commander, he comes in and gives us the current events. So, but tell them about
Is he on this week?
yeah, he is on this week. I gotta pull it up real
I
quick.
didn't even know.
Yeah, Cobra Commander is in the building.
All I talk about is music, so I don't know if it's deemed appropriate for this evening. I did listen to some new music today, but as we all know, new music comes out on Friday, so you know we can discuss it. We can talk about it. It's always up for debate. Go back to the main screen.
Oh, I gotta pull it up. They can see you.
Oh,
Yeah,
they can still see
yeah,
me.
they can see
Bet.
you.
Music. Like I said, if you listen to Jeezy's and Nia Long interview,
I haven't heard that yet. Tell me
yeah,
about it.
it was just a little juicy. But if you read the book or if you listen to the album, comment, let us know. Tell me how you felt about it. But I don't. It really felt like maybe like the last episode of Different World or something. It was like big sister, black brother, uh, big brother, help us. You know what I'm saying? Type joint. It was very therapeutic. I think that in the sense that they wanted to put it, but they had both been through drama, breakup, divorce, kids. It was just black people talking about black. That was trauma bonding. It was trauma bonding for like an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be real life though. Like it's real life.
She quoted it, and I quote, she had never had a discussion with a black man quite like that before.
Mm.
I think she was a bit smitten by his Audemars watch, but
Mm.
she a little vulnerable.
Well, sometimes it's hard for females and men to kind of like relate, see eye to eye, unless it is trauma.
And they explain it for apparent reasons, particularly with their parents, and how love, integrity, and there was one more thing, forgiveness. That's what life is based on.
True.
Basically.
True. Yeah.
Him from his integral point of being in the streets, their point of love, just growing up and feeling love and knowing what love is and loving other people properly and loving your children the way that they should be loved. And hurt people hurt people. So if you want to heal and get past that process, you have to learn how to forgive and let it go.
Yeah, there's no magic antidote, and healing is definitely something that you have to work on. And if you have a tendency to be the antagonist, that's something you have to work on too. Like we have to get rid of our ghosts, or things that
Skeletons.
or things that may come up when you're trying not to be that way or whatnot. But yeah, definitely those are key points. So let's go ahead and see what we have for our current events. Cobra Commander coming in, so bear with me 1 second and I'm going to bring him in.
This is Cobra Commander, and this is this week's current events. Also, this week's current events is brought to you by our sponsors, the letters F and U. Okay, no, I mean our real sponsors. Autobot Lives Matter. See, kiss. Sorry, didn't have my protein shake. Now a moment of silence for the beloved friend star Matthew Perry. And we're done. Matthew Perry recently passed away at the age of 54. Apparently, this was due to a sudden drowning. And that's kind of all we know. There was a study that came out that concluded that men who rest had a lower resting heart rate. So pasteurize that. I just need to. Pasteurize that. I just need to look at breasts. What do you want me to say? In sports news, there's been a call for a doping free-for-all enhanced games, and some might call itself the answer to doping in all sports. Opponents say it poses a danger. Can you imagine that? Being able to watch a game, a sports league where the athletes were allowed to do steroids and all kinds of doping. All the athletes would have huge, gigantic heads. Can you imagine that? People would be smashing backboards, breaking bats at every game. Wouldn't that be amazing? All the young ladies who were allowed to be doping and doing steroids, they just sound like, give it to me. Anyways, that's the current news for now. Again, I wish you to follow our sponsor, Autobot Lives Matter. Because even Autobots deserve to have lives that matter too. Thank you. That's my time for now.
I just think that is so funny. I don't know how did y'all feel about that? I hope y'all were able to hear. I guess
I was prepared this time.
yeah.
Last time caught me off guard.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is hilarious, very hilarious. So yeah, that was our current events done by the most eloquent Cobra Commander, Black Cobra Commander,
Mhm.
all the way from I think, Augusta. So shout out to Cobra Commander, we appreciate that. His
To piggyback though
Mhm.
on the recent news with Matthew Perry,
yeah,
with all the celebrities who died tubside, like that's in from the jacuzzi, and the being sitting in the jacuzzi tub, lowering your blood pressure, and you pass out, and their head go. That's crazy. The number of people. Nippy, and that's how Nippy went out.
yeah, her daughter too,
That's crazy.
supposedly.
Maybe some drugs was involved, or they say he was pretty clean though. His blood came back
Yeah.
A1.
Don't get me on my conspiracy theory high horse, so I won't. I'm not gonna go there.
What about Matthew Perry though?
I'm talking about him too.
He was the books. All right, cool. Maybe we'll save it for another podcast.
Yeah,
You got it.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. You didn't tell him. So when can we expect our first episode of Critically
I'm
Acclaimed?
working it. Not working it. It's in the next room. I'm changing plans. I'm doing research. 50 years of hip hop on research. So just bear with me. It's gonna be lovely. Everybody's gonna love it. She said she's gonna love it. And she already.
Of course.
Yeah. But the framework for how I want to go about doing it, going from a group podcast or a panel or solo podcast or just video, no audio, background settings got to be right, and particularly doing documentaries and doing reels on certain platforms and doing stories a full 10 minutes. It's a whole thing. So like the way my mind works and my ADHD, bear with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
my
that's
bad.
coming.
I
That's
was
coming.
venting, not spilling.
All good, all good.
All
So
right.
without further ado, let's go ahead and play a trailer from one of his works. Our guest tonight is very multi-talented, does animation, writes his scripts, does stop motion, which is amazingly funny, very talented. Let me show one of his trailers for a movie that he has actually on Tubi. So,
Add it to your to-be list.
yes, add it to your
Right.
to-do list. And this is Josh's journal. So you guys can look that up while I cue this up for you. Need two screens.
I could probably use this for my drawings and thoughts.
Like a diary?
What? No, like a journal.
I don't see a difference.
What they can't, homie, I do in a hyperbolic room, about to pull a go.
And I'm Joshua Matthew Abrams.
Make sure you call me Joshua Matthew Abrams.
What if we had the technology to send dense particles through time like atoms or an entire person? I mean, like a personal time portal.
I was trying to find Josh Abrams. Do you know what class he's in?
Now what?
Is that Josh's book?
What do you plan to do in your life in 17 years?
Well, that's an odd random number to choose.
Ain't no stopping, and ain't no defeating me. We marching to the end, what we win, you never been done with history. Cause you and me,
The pledges are really creative this year.
We're in the future? How do we get in the future?
Just time travel 17 years into the future.
Oh!
Didn't I tell you I'd create a way to do this? But you didn't believe me.
down, little buddy. We putting in work, and it might get muddy, not locker room talk.
Yeah. Who is that guy? And what does he want with me?
He called himself the Revenger.
Bro, way over ledge. All closers all talk, man. I call them boys to head. You know we got this whole lot like dreads. You say you got a lot, you should give me all you got. Say you heading to the top, you should give me all you got. Yeah, you on your Kakarot, you should give me all you got. You should give me all you got. You should give me all you got. You say you want the spot, you should give me all you got. All you get is one shot, you should give me all you got. Who told you that you can stop? You should give me all you got. You should give me all you got. You should give me all you got.
Whoa. How are we gonna fight these guys? We can't blast real people.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Me all you got. Yeah, you on your Kakarot. You should give me all you got. You should give me all you got. You should give me all you got.
Now,
Where the hell is that raccoon sticking off to?
okay, I think I did that. Okay, we are back. And I don't know if y'all understand the level of creativity it takes to pull off something like that. And he did that back in 2018. Let's hurry up and bring our guest on because we have so many questions. Yeah, right, I know you would. And without further ado, we are going to bring on our wonderful guest. Mr. Josh Abrams. Hey, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing good. How about you?
It's going so
We're
good.
sending you home. Yeah.
So it's good to have you. You are a man of many talents. I mean, like I was just saying, the level of creativity it takes to pull off something like that. You did that back in 2018, Josh's Journal, and you got it on
Yeah.
Tubi here recently. That's amazing. Like,
Show me the money.
what was that process
Oh
like?
man, that was a long process. So like I finished the movie 5 years ago, and that took 3 years to put that movie together. And it was just kind of sitting on the shelf. Like I didn't know what to do with it. I just kind of shelved it for a little bit and started working on other stuff. And then I saw like, Tubi popping up and and like independent films was getting on Tubi and stuff. And so I kind of just got a team together, and I told them in our first meeting, I was like, we first thing first, we're going to get Josh's Journal on Tubi. And so it was a lot of trouble, but like, I had to get like a graphic designer and stuff, and which is my brother who does the graphic effects for the visual effects for the movie, and he even does one of the voices. He does a lot of voices for me. And then like I had to get the
So they had to
subtitles in
redo some
there.
framing and post production. Like once you guys like get sold it to Tubi.
No, I had to just what I did was I kind of cut it down, and like because I didn't get it accepted at first, and so I had to just go in and make a couple of changes. It wasn't too bad, but it was most of my time was adding subtitles to it.
Mm.
Okay.
So you said it took 3 years to film. Were there other like projects or like a second, third rendition of Josh's Journal before you came to the final product?
Well, the movie is based off a web series I did back in the day with the same name, Josh's Journal, and so
Mhm.
that was about the main character being in high school, and it's like 4 seasons, so it's like all 4 years of high school. And before I ended the series, I wanted to make it into a movie. And so when I had the idea of the movie, I pitched it to like the studio that helped me, which was E Plus Studios. And once I finished the script and put that together, I had to remake all the characters, so they were different
Oh my God.
than the web series. So the web series already had those characters made, but the movie I had to go and make all of those characters just to make them updated and new. So everything you see on screen, I had to make.
And
Personally.
yeah,
Yeah.
with his hands. Yeah, because you could tell, like, I'm looking at some of the materials you use. I can see the felt, I can see like
Clay,
the things you wipe your face with the
wire.
astringent pads you use for the eyes, or it looks like something like that. Like, that is seriously creative. How did you get to this point, and how did you know that you had a talent for animation and stop motion? Stop motion is like a real rare form that not a lot of people get into when it comes to animation.
I mean, I feel like I can barely do stop motion myself. I feel like I'm still learning it. Um, Honestly, I've been doing stop motion before I even did animation, like before I did the 2D animation and stuff. So like my earliest works are like filming figurines and stuff. Like at first, before I even knew how to do stop motion, I was like um, getting the figures together and get a camera and stuff like that. Then I was like, eventually had to learn how to just move them a little bit at a time. And then I was working at a TV center at my college campus at Mississippi State University. And that's where I learned a lot of my filming skills there. And I was also learning animation when I was there as well. And so before I graduated, I had to do a thesis project, and my thesis was doing like a stop motion type thing. Well, actually, it was like painting. I was supposed to do paintings, and what I ended up doing was, so since I worked at the TV center, I put some of my stop motion videos on TV. My supervisor let me do that, and so a couple of my college professors saw this show I put on TV, and it was like, you have more of love for filming than you do for art. And so but they said, but don't use figurines for your thesis. Make them yourself. So that's what I ended up doing. And so my first project, which was similar to Josh's Journal movie, was my thesis project. And then it became Josh's Journal. Then it became the Josh's Journal movie, all that stuff.
So what was the inspiration behind this particular story?
So that was based on my freshman year of college. Mm-hmm. And I also love time travel. I love time travel stories. And so I wanted to put them together. When I first got my idea, it was actually two separate ideas. It was like, do a college story and do a time travel story. Then I was like, let me do both. Because I wanted to make a movie, and I was like, I like both subjects. So let's put them together.
Okay, so can I ask favorite all-time time traveling movie, and don't say Back to the Future?
Back to the Future Part 2.
You said Part 2.
Part 2. So with Butterfly Effect, would that be considered time traveling or no?
Yeah, definitely.
First and second, yeah. Butterfly Effect's pretty dope.
I'm gonna have to go with Back to the Future. I'm sorry, that's just a classic.
What about the one
it's
about time trap? We watched one about time trap when the guys were looking for the Fountain of Youth.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty good. Yeah.
It just came out not too long ago. It was like a sci-fi, more like called Time Trap.
Oh, I never heard of that.
That might be a good one for y'all to interview on your podcast. I mean, review. Might like it. So you guys, so a little bit more about the movie, then we want to talk about your podcast. I mean, your filming. So you have other projects such as Fox My Life, and you have of course Malcolm and James, and then you have Why I'm Single. And I've done some character work for you on both, and it's definitely been an honor. So I appreciate that. Now, how do you feel like when you've been going to your Comic-Cons and things of that nature? You said that a lot of people are actually starting to recognize Fox My Life.
Yeah, it's crazy. The first con I ever did, I actually had like 2 people recognize it.
Yeah, that is great. So like what happens when that happens? How does that feel, and how do the people approach you when they're like, oh, no, like how does that usually go?
It's a good feeling because I feel like even though I'm getting like a lot of views for that show on TikTok and on YouTube, it don't feel like it for me. I'm just like, oh yeah, they're just numbers. But when somebody actually interacts with you and say, oh man, that's the Fox My Life Fox. Oh, you're behind that? Then it's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Like it's really cool. Like the best experience I had was when I went to the Mississippi Comic-Con, and because I don't get recognized all the time, but that one it was a couple more extra people, and I remember this one girl. She was so happy to see my characters and to meet me, and even took a picture with me. And she was telling me how much she loves watching it, like she's at work watching it on her phone or something like that. She was just so happy and ecstatic when she met me. It's like, you're the creator behind this. And then like, which really got me was like these 3 black boys. They walked up and they recognized the standees and stuff, and they were like, "Oh man!" They want to take pictures with them and stuff. And so I had to take a picture with them myself because I was like, because the girl, she was a white girl, these guys were black, and so I'm like, oh, this is reaching everybody, not just black people, it's reaching everybody. And so that's like a real good feeling, because especially because I had these characters, I created these characters back when I was a little kid, like back when I was like 6 years old.
Wow. That is amazing. And now, like, these characters that you thought of when you were a kid, they're getting ready to take care of you for the rest of your life, because you're definitely on your way with that. The writing is just excellent. I'll tell you what, I laughed so hard at the one, the stop motion of the Smurfs, and that was the funniest. Oh my God, that was so funny. Like, guys, make sure you get on his platform. The material, the animation, everything is top notch. The comedy, like I'm really surprised you haven't been picked up by like another,
studio.
yeah, like a major studio, because your writing is definitely top tier. Like, when did that skill start to develop for you? Was that always something that was kind of like in you, or did you develop it more like when you were in college?
I would say it probably been with me for a while since I was a kid. I was writing stories as long as I can remember. Mostly maybe in high school. Um, Oddly enough, I wrote a play when I was in high school. It was a time travel play. By coincidence, I wrote it with my dad. Um, and I kind of, yeah, I would say since I was in first grade, like just as soon as I started school, like before I could even write, I was coming up with ideas, and I would make like little comic books and stuff. So yeah,
Oh
it's kind of
wow.
stuck with me. Just kind of something that grew with me as I've gotten older. But I honestly, I didn't consider myself a writer until recently. I always felt like I was like,
Wow,
well, I'm
no
an artist, you
way.
know. So yeah, so
No way you can leave that out. Your writing is, oh my God, it's just so funny. Um, Now with the why I'm single, those are actually scenarios that you have gone through in your single life. Like, is that where those stories come from?
well, they kind of exaggerate it.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are. And then some of them I take from other people that went through some stuff. And so what I like to do is like I would say almost all my stuff is based on real life. That one was more me just frustrating with the dating world kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and of course, I want to exaggerate it because, like, there's one episode where he goes on a date with a girl that's speaking like a spam bot, and that was my experience for just like being on Tinder or something like that when a girl responds and she's clearly spam, and so I wanted to make that where he's actually on a date with a girl that's like a robot type thing, an AI type
It's
thing.
not catfishing. Gotcha.
Love it. Like that's actual brilliant concept. Just want to give a shout out to those in the comments that are speaking. Skinny Corleone, Willie, who is one of your fans. He's also an animator. He's always liking and tagging some of your stuff. Will Bryant. And then Michelle from BOB Rewards is joining us tonight too. So hey everybody, and thank y'all for chiming in. Make sure you go check out Josh's materials. Links are, do I have links up? Here is the IG. You can get through it on IG. Let's see. Where's my ticker? Show. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Update and boom. There we go. Prop Josh. That's right? Prop Josh on IG. Okay, yeah.
Well,
And then you can find all his.
Prop Josh underscore productions on IG.
Oh, okay. Let me fix that real quick.
But everything else is Prop Josh. Prop Josh on everything, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. But Prop Josh underscore productions is where I put most of my my animations and stuff on IG.
Got it. So y'all make sure I did update that. Make sure you guys go follow, like, share. I'm telling you, when Josh is definitely next up for sure. So let's talk about your podcast. Very fun. You guys are hilarious. How that actually just started within like 6 months to a year ago, right? That's not a
2
very
years.
old. How many?
2 years.
Oh,
Like we just
I guess
celebrated our
like
2 year
I've been knowing
anniversary.
you about 2 years though, because I remember when you first started it.
Yep. So yeah, it's been exactly 2 years. Like exactly 2 years now.
Okay. And tell everybody like how your format is with that and why you choose the movies that you choose.
So the podcast is called What We Talking About This Time. At first it was called the Marcus and Josh Show. So like me and my best friend Marcus, we came up with it because we did a lot of like Zoom calls and stuff during the pandemic, and along with my brother Jason, aka Smiley. And we were like watching movies, bad movies together. It was like, you know what? Let's make this into a podcast. This would be more fun to do. And so that's how it started. The format of it is we kind of just talk to each other at the beginning, and then one of us would interrupt, like, what we talking about this time, and then the music come on, and we introduce ourselves. But the movies we usually talk about is usually like popular stuff that's currently everyone's talking about, kind of thing. But we have a segment now that we do every Tuesday, or every now and then we'll do on Tuesday, called Tubi Tuesday, because Marcus, he loves Tubi movies, and he watches them all the time, and he was like, we need to talk about these movies, so we decided to start it Tubi Tuesday, and so we basically have a podcast episode like twice a week.
Okay, I love it. Yep, that is just amazing. So out of all the things that you created, which one is your favorite, like, and the most endearing to you?
So my projects feel like my children, so it's kind of hard to choose a favorite. But Malcolm and James is my number one because I basically had that idea since I was a kid as well. That's why it takes place in the 90s. And even though I did have the idea of Fox before Malcolm and James, I've always, when I was a kid, always wanted to do like a sitcom type thing, and just kind of show the life of what it's like to grow up like in the South. Because I always felt like, because I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, and I always felt like it was kind of overlooked. So I kind of wanted to show.
Quite different than the Huxtables, right?
Like what?
I said life quite different than the Huxtables.
Right. And plus, I just had like ideas for like silly characters, and but yeah, Malcolm and James is my favorite. That's something I want to just really put out there, and so that's why whenever I release an episode of that, it takes a while, because I'm like, I really put some writing into that one, some time into that one. Like, I still got a lot of episodes I haven't released of that. Like, I have a whole season that I wrote that I haven't released yet, because I'm still fine tuning it, and I wrote it like 3 years ago.
Oh wow! So I don't feel so bad sitting on projects until until the time is right. So I guess that's what all artists do to some degree. Like, you sit on it until you get it how you want it, and then you put it out there. So I guess that's a thing. Speaking of children, you have a beautiful daughter, and all through the years that I've been knowing you, which is about 1.5, 2, I've watched her like blossom and kind of like come into her own. Like, she was kind of like tomboyish at first, and now I'm starting to see her with the hair and everything, where it wasn't like that at first. Like, how and I know she's very helpful. Is she a lot of your inspiration for any of your art, your projects?
Oh yeah. She's an artist herself.
Yes, that I did see.
She's probably a better artist than me. She would admit that now too.
I've seen you say that before too.
Yeah, she's I would say, like, I show a version of her on Why I'm Single, because like my character on there has a daughter, and I kind of show her grow up on there as well. But it's definitely a different person. So it's like a version of a characteristic version of her, because she's definitely more tomboyish in real life. I mean, she is growing, like she's because she's going to be 18 this month. So I'm gonna have an 18-year-old kid. Yeah, like a few weeks, she's gonna be 18.
My God, yeah, because I do remember when she was 16, and like I said, just looking at the occasional pictures, not online a whole lot from what I could, from your profile, but I just like seen her kind of like just coming into her own over the years, and it's definitely a beautiful thing. And I know that she's inspired by your work, and that's amazing. I love that for her.
I hope she is.
I'm sure she is. So
But
is
no,
she taking up anything in school?
She's actually more interested in working with animals. So she's trying to be like an animal trainer type thing, like for like movies and stuff. So that's something she's trying to get into. But I'm trying to get her into, continue doing her art, because she also wants to do fashion, but she feels like that's going to be more like a hobby type thing. And I just had her finish like making some stuff. Like, she made, like, she's real talented. Like, she can make anything. Like, The
Oh,
only one thing she
wow.
can't do is animation, and I'm like, let me keep the animation. But she's actually been helping me since she was a kid. She's been helping me, like
I'm sure.
back when I was filming Josh's Journal, the series. She would help me. Like she would help me like hold the characters and stuff. Like when she was a little kid, so she's always
Oh,
been.
wow.
She was more helpful in my filming back then. When she was a teenager, it's like, nah.
She has her own life now, Dad.
Exactly.
Yes, yes. Anything else on the horizon? Anything new on the horizon that you haven't like brought to the public yet? Oh wait, did we talk about that? Because stop motion. Yeah, we definitely wanted to, we did talk about stop motion.
Yeah, but I had questions about the
Okay.
camera. I had questions about the framing. Like it's a complicated process. Like if you had to just give advice, like what are some of the mistakes that you made early on in your process that you learned from?
I would say like lighting. I would have to get like, it's always good to have some good lighting with it, because if it's bad lighting, it don't look right. And with stop motion, oh man, you gotta keep things still, like the figures. You gotta keep the camera still and the figure still, because if it falls, if something moves,
In the
you gotta
exact
start
same
all
spot,
over.
right?
Yeah, so
No
What
way.
yeah, so there's
and it
been
looks
many,
kind of
many times.
in the production, like you can't tell what's CGI and what you actually had because you literally like built the whole set. So was it like back in the day, like they do like the trains and the whole thing, like Mr. Rogers? Like how did you actually go about building a set for the characters?
Oh well, so you mean for Josh's Journal, the movie?
Right.
Oh, I was just
For
thinking
the
about
trailer.
that too, but I was thinking about like for the Smurfs and the ones you do with the action figures. Like you build those backgrounds too in Spider-Man.
So I don't build the backgrounds. Well, no, I do. So I do buy some backgrounds. Like I'll order some backgrounds online for like figurines and stuff. But I
Mm.
forgot that I made some backgrounds. My bad. But for Josh's Journal, the movie, I did make all the backgrounds. So what I did was I took a lot of boxes, and I had to do a lot of trouble. It was a lot of cutting and stuff, a lot of
Mhm.
painting, and I had to like. There's a scene in Josh's Journal where they're like in the student union, and there's like a restaurant they ordering from. I had to print out little small versions of like hamburgers and stuff like that, like a menu kind of thing. And there's another
No
scene where
way.
they're at his house, and I had to print out little pictures of like the family and stuff, and which means I had to set up the family to take a picture of them and do like a little, it's a ton of small details. Like I said, my best friend Marcus is on the podcast with me. He said he's seen the Josh's Journal movie like 4 times. He's in it. He plays a character. He plays himself. And he said that he loves watching the little details in there. I was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of details that I just, I was thinking big for that one. I was like, I got to put every little thing. I got to create this entire world. That's why I would say it took 3 years to put this movie together, because 1 full year was just building everything, like making all the
Wow.
Right.
characters, because I had to make every single college student that just walks by and you don't even see
For
them.
each
Like,
scene,
right, yeah, everything, the background,
backgrounds, extras. It's just like a
right,
real movie
extra,
set, but you're creating by hand.
right, like the little food they're eating on the table, little books they're holding. I had to make all of that.
So you do all the framework and storyboarding before you create all this, so you know exactly how you want it, and then it's the actual steps into filming.
Yeah, I did do storyboard for that
You
one.
already have everything planned out already.
I kind of did. And I did have a lot of help with the movie.
Mhm.
So because I actually wasn't behind the camera for the movie, someone else was. I was more just directing, and I did like the puppetry. Like I had to, I was in charge of moving the characters and stuff. Um,
Gotcha.
but when I do the stop motion stuff, it's just me on my table and stuff.
That's great. I
So
love it.
again, what kind of camera did you use for stop motion? Was it a red or a black magic?
I like the night camera.
Yeah, just like a Canon camera, like it's a simple camcorder. Because like what I do with my stop motion, I do my stop motion a little different than some people. Some because I'll do the pictures and I'll do video. So
Mhm.
when like 2 characters are just talking, I just like I'll press the record button and just kind of and I'll do different angles, like have this one person's talking to this other person. But if like an action happens, like for example, when I do the Spider-Man series, anytime Spider-Man is fighting somebody, that's when I do the stop motion part, which is a lot of moving a little bit and take a picture, move a little bit, take a picture, move a little bit, take a picture.
Mhm.
And I've been doing this for a while now that I just do it without thinking. I'll be like, it's like real quick.
I had a Nikon D5100 and it had a stop motion feature, and I never got a chance to like see how that worked. But you do it manually, just picture stop, and then you run it. Oh wow!
Yeah. That's why I said I could be better. Stop motion. I feel like it's a little bit of my weakness. Like I feel like I could get better with that one.
But it like, and that's the thing. Like even if in your mind, like we are our worst critic, like I think it's great. I think it's absolutely wonderful. But the writing is just so phenomenal and so fluid and funny. Like
Mhm.
anything can be forgiven with video if writing is good and the sound is good. And that's one thing that I have learned about being in the entertainment industry. Like you can have a terrible camera all pixelated, but as long as you have a good mic and what you're talking about is interesting, people can forgive a bad picture bad, but they like the sustenance and the quality and of what you're talking about and the audio that's good, then you're good to go. Is what I've learned.
Yeah, but all that stuff has really been like fascinating for me growing up as a kid. Like watching how they made Steamboat Willie
Mm-hmm.
and how with the flip pages and learning how it worked.
Right.
It's always been something I've been interested in. So now that we're adults, got cameras and
Right.
I can do some paper mache.
Let's
I can
try
cut
it.
some stuff. I can make some little puppets too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we do voiceover work, Josh. I'm pretty good. I want to be in the movie. But nah, like I said, when we first met, we had so much stuff in common, and stop animation was one of those things. So we hopefully we get a chance to try and that too.
Yeah. So you're definitely an inspiration. Is there anything you want to well, I think I was asking you, like, is there anything in the future that you're planning that you may bring out? Like
What's next?
Yeah, what's next for Josh?
So more Malcolm and James, because I've been kind of working on that slowly, but surely. I actually wrote a bunch of stuff. I wrote I wrote an entire season for Why I'm Single, and I just haven't released it. Like I wrote it like a couple of months ago, but I kind of put it on hiatus a little bit because I was trying to work on all three of my shows at the same time. And I found out I learned something. I found out that I was just one person.
Mhm.
So I'm working on Fox My Life. I have a bunch of episodes in the making, like where Fox is going to have like a bunch of bad neighbors. So that's gonna be a fun one. It's based on when I had a bunch of bad neighbors. So I'm putting that in. I'm using that real life situation and making it into a episode. And I got a bunch of episodes of Malcolm and James that I already wrote, and I got the voices for. It's more of just animating and putting it together. So yeah, those are the main ones that's coming out. I just finished this Scooby-Doo animation that I did for October. I did 2 Scooby-Doo videos, which took up a lot of my time. Because I used to do stop motion with Scooby-Doo, then I was like, I'd rather do it, animated, but animation takes longer, and it took almost 2 months to put that together. So that I had to stop everything I was doing just to do this stupid Scooby-Doo video. But it was worth it. It got a lot of views, and so I was happy about that. So now I get to
now
go
you know
back
the
to my original stuff.
trick of the trade. So take your time, my brother. Take your time.
Of course. So yeah, that's the main things. Nothing big. Just I guess like longer episodes. Like I'm gonna work on so basically I wrote a season of Malcolm and James where they are juniors in high school. So the first season they're freshmen, and the second season I'm working on right now they're sophomores. And so I'm trying to like figure things out and put them all together because like the I'm trying to make it go from a web series into a full series,
Mhm.
and the episodes I wrote like 3 years ago, that's the full series, and that's when they're juniors. So it's kind of weird. I was kind of writing a prequel to my own stuff. It's been weird. So, but it's a long process because, like I said, that's my biggest project. So I put the most time into that one. So it's going to probably be a few years before we see everything that I wrote with that one.
Well, we're gonna be waiting to see it roll out. Now, let me ask you this. I always ask about the money. Like, what if somebody came and offered you right now for rights to all your works? Do you feel like you could put a price tag on that, or you wouldn't sell?
Look at
I guess it depends on what they like. If I like, would I have creative control at all? Kind of. I guess I would have to negotiate with them because, like, I would want creative control because
Mhm.
I've had people try to take advantage of me or try to take my ideas a little bit or try to
Of course.
sway
Of
me a
course.
certain way. And
Mhm.
that's part of the reason why I ended up starting my own team because I was like, I don't need to be swayed. Um, like I felt like people were with almost all three of my with two of my projects, two out of the three of my projects. It felt like someone was trying to take over. So I feel more comfortable when I have like more creative control. So if someone someone wanted to buy the rights, I'm like, if I have creative control, then we could work something out. But I don't know if they just wanted the idea. I will probably sell while I'm single pretty easily. Even though that one's closer about me, but
Yeah.
Fox, it'd be really hard to sell Fox My Life because that's my baby right there, and so is Malcolm
Yeah.
and James. So it's like that won't be harder.
Yeah. So it would be like, so you wouldn't like it. So you mean to tell me there's as long okay, so you just said why I'm single. I mean, um I'm
Fox My Life.
no. I'm single. I just had a brain fart. Your story, why I'm single, that one right there, you would sell, but the other two, you would still have to be involved in some type of leadership role in order for you to sell most of your rights, but not all creative control, if that's what I'm understanding.
Yeah, it's probably because I came up with Why I'm Single like 3 years ago, but I came up with Fox and Malcolm and James like 20 to 30 years ago. So that's
Mhm.
probably why.
That sounds like a scenario that Robert Townsend went through with Hollywood Shuffle, and the reason why he created Hollywood Shuffle. But it made me think about because he did Meteor Man. Then
Mhm.
Meteor Man turned out to be a whole comic book series, like later on in the '90s. And I just wonder if he still had creative control over it. Because you sell your stuff and then your characters end up being white, you'd be mad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They
Yeah.
would change the characters' personalities and then all that stuff. And I definitely don't want that for Fox. I've been developing these guys' character personalities for a long time.
Hmm.
I tell you what, I got to introduce him. Like, of course, I've been watching Fox, but he works out of town, so he doesn't get a chance to watch a whole lot. But I gotta show him the Fox episodes are so funny. Like, when you did that poll the other day, and I told you which were my favorite characters. The I don't know his name, but the Fox that don't like Fox, the bluish gray one, the one that kicked him out the pack.
Oh, the
Told
Alpha
told him
Wolf.
told
That's
him
the
to get
Alpha
the
Wolf.
fuck on.
Yeah, the Alpha Wolf.
I
That's who that is.
love him. Oh my God, I love him.
Like your character.
Oh, he likes my characters. I was a I was a hawk. I was a hawk lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. I remember you recording that one at the table.
Oh, you do remember me recording? Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was sweet. Yeah. And that was the first time I ever even deployed like kind of a country.
Pulled the mic out. Oh,
country
from the
accent.
accent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you was
Uh-huh.
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was so fun. Tell people how they can get in touch with you. Like, say they want to send in an audition or anything like that. Because you said you got a new season coming up. Does that mean you're going to be introducing some new characters?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm always introducing characters on these shows. um, oddly enough, especially while I'm single. While I'm single is pretty much a different character every episode. So I sometimes I kind of test people out on that one. Um, I am a little more less. I don't let too many people audition for Fox My Life because I take that one a little bit more serious. But the stop motion
So
stuff,
the people that, so I'm sorry to interrupt you. So like you take that one more serious. So you vet people who have like quality sound, quality equipment and stuff like that. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like I allow any kind of sound on like Why I'm Single and the stop motion stuff. But then when it comes to Malcolm and James and Fox, I get a little more protective. Um, to the point where I don't even know I don't really do too many auditions for Fox My Life. And I'm actually debating about the latest episodes I'm writing if I should do auditions or not. Like that's how serious I take Fox. But Prop Josh underscore productions on IG, I definitely always post my stuff, auditions and stuff, and which connects to my Facebook. Um, Prop Josh Productions is called a Prop Josh Productions on Facebook. So I always tell people to follow those because that's where I'm always posting auditions. Because whenever someone hits me up personally on my personal Facebook, I'd be like, just go there, just go there.
Yeah. Okay, I did update that for you. Does it all run together? A Prop Josh production? Because I usually deal with you on your personal phone.
Now I know what it's about. Take notes.
Now, I
Yeah.
do
Is
want
there
to
anything
say,
you want to leave? Huh?
oh, I was going to say, I do want to say though, when I do, so you didn't ask me about my voice acting, that I'm a,
Of course, your voice is like like when I hear your voice is like the famous voice to me because they're like leading characters and all the things. So it's like second nature. So you're right. That is definitely one of your talents. How did you know, or how did you like get into that to the degree that you're in it, other than just, being your own material?
I would like, I guess like I would picture the voice and try to sound like that character, like, when imitate cartoon characters and stuff when I was a kid, I would hear it on my own. Um, as I got older, it got better. Um, so the funny thing is my brother. So my brother Smiley, he's a lot of voice. He's almost on every project I've done. You would definitely
Yeah.
would hear his voice. He is. I always say that he's the most talented voice actor I've ever worked with. And I saw him at the very beginning when we did our little stop motion stuff when we were kids, and he couldn't act to save his life. Now he's one of the best actors, and I
It's
just watched him.
development, the
Yeah, I
artist
watched him.
development over the years.
Yeah, I watched him grow. So I guess we just kind of both watched each other grow and like just, because what we would do was we would try to make each other laugh whenever we were filming. Like we would film over the camera and stuff, and we would talk in the character. So we pretty much just ad-libbed right in on camera, and we would try to make each other's laugh by doing different voices for it and stuff. So sometimes you would hear a little bit of a laugh in the background. Um, but yeah, he's gotten so much better. He's real good. But my thing is whenever I tell people to audition or people are trying out, it's more of an open up for everyone else if they want to be in it. Because I always tell my brother, I said, they got to outdo you. I always tell him that. I said, they got to outdo you if you don't feel like doing the voice. Because he
Right.
could do like
Child.
19 different voices.
Mm,
And
mm.
I have a limit. I have a couple of, but I have the most fun on Fox My Life. Maybe that's why I don't do too many auditions for that one because I do like 5 different main characters.
Yeah. You do Alpha Wolf, right?
No, I don't do Alpha Wolf, but I do the Wolf.
Oh, you don't? That's not you?
No, I don't do the Alpha Wolf, but I do the regular Wolf, the Gray Wolf, the one that gets beat up by the Alpha. I, yeah, I do the Wolf. I do the regular Wolf. I do Fox, Turtle, the Snake, the Sheep. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Damn. I didn't know you were Turtle.
Really? Yeah, I'm Turtle. Yeah, I'm Turtle.
That's
Get your ass
awesome.
on,
I love
Fox.
it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that is such an amazing, like, your whole life is centered around your childhood dreams, and that's a rare thing. Not a whole lot of people get to enjoy that, and like you're actually building your life off of something that you've always wanted to do. That is freedom right there in and of itself. That's the type of freedom that not a lot of people get to experience, and I'm so happy, that even though, I know you kind of say you exaggerated in your storyline with the why I'm single, but but maybe it took for you to go through whatever you had to go through in your relationship to bring you to the point where you are now. Because maybe if you would have been like happily ever after and settled, you may not have. Yeah, you've been re-inspired to get back into it at the level that you are.
Well, yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Well, I've had a great time. I'm so glad. Thank you for coming on at the last minute. I'm telling you, like, the weeks go by so fast, and I'm like, damn, I don't have a guest yet. So, of course, I got my faithful few that I tap into, and they're Johnny on the spot. So, thank you so much for coming through at the last
Do
minute.
you have some behind the scenes, some bloopers of when you're doing this kind of stuff?
Hmm. I think
Little
I do. I have
content
to.
idea, you keep that. Yeah, put
I
that
got a few
online. Show
things.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to look. I have
Yeah,
to look.
BTS is always it's always fun. Like we put bloopers out. We do the music videos and stuff, and bloopers are always cool. But yeah, that
I
is
think I
just
put one
amazing what you
blooper.
have going on.
I put one blooper behind at the end of one of my Fox episodes where I was trying to say a line and it just sounded terrible, and I just animated. I had Fox saying it, like messing it up the lines. So that was like the one blooper I had.
Gotcha.
Okay, okay. Yeah, but everybody, thank y'all so much for joining. We actually had steady viewership all through the night. And again, we're on like 8 platforms. So a lot of our viewers will see this after
Personal best.
after production. So guys, make sure you tap in. Is there anything you want to leave us with tonight? Any inspirational tips or anything?
Uh Somebody once told me ABC. They said always be creating, and that just kind of stuck with me. And I was like, yeah, that's what I try to do. So yeah, always be creating. If you're a creator, you just write about whatever's going on in life. It's sometimes it's therapeutic. I'm currently
And a
writing
motivation.
something. Yeah, I'm currently writing something where I had a bad experience a few years ago that I never got over, and I decided to write about it now. It took like 7 years to write about it, and I'm like, this is going to help me. So yeah, always be creating.
Love it. Those are definitely words to live by. I hope my stepson is watching tonight. This is definitely be a good
Right.
inspirational um, story for him to see. He's a comic book enthusiast,
Right.
so
For maybe 4 years now.
yeah. So this is great. So again, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody, make sure you go to at @propjosh_productions on IG or @propjosh productions on Facebook. Tap in, network, communicate, do all that good stuff because you never know where opportunity may lay. And with that, I'm going to say thank you once again and bid you good night. I really appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you again.
Yeah, great to be here.
Talk to you later. And ladies and gentlemen, that was just one for the books for sure. Um, you know, I love doing, from since the inception of CEPTV, morphing on into late night hype. The people that we have had on our show have gone on to do amazing things, and that is why we do it. Shows like these keep them creative, keep them inspired. So if you know somebody or you want to be on the show, make sure you reach out to us at deucelatricemedia@gmail.com, subject interview, and we will definitely link up with you and see how we can make things work. Also, for those of you who are independent artists, if you want to get your music played in over 84 countries and over 43 states with millions of listeners worldwide, make sure you also reach out to us with your music. We prefer you go to droptracks.com and look us up, Deuce Latrice Media. We are on there as an entity that's accepting submissions, and we ask that you either upload from your MP3 or use your Spotify track, because if you are an artist and you are serious about your craft, you definitely should be using Spotify. We have a regular submission option or a guaranteed listen. And so with the guaranteed listen, we take those and we pass those on to the radio station so they can play those submissions at other times too. So it's not payola. You don't pay to play, but this is actually being reviewed by us and also the other stations and the figureheads of those stations, and we pass those the program directors of those other stations. So it's been a wonderful, busy, crazy year. We're going to cap off 2024 right and bring 2023 right and bring 2024 in the right way. I think we did mention earlier about our radio is relevant campaign, so be on the lookout for more information for that. And other than that, I
I
think
was just
that's
gonna
it.
say, like every week when we're on the radio, I'm proud of us. I'm proud of ourselves to listen to like the finished product. But these past few weeks with the guests that we've been having on, like to have like a physical copy of a book or a physical copy of a movie or seeing the final finished product on the big screen, that has to be an incredible feat and feeling for them to have. So we're proud of y'all too. And if you're working on something, don't quit, keep believing, keep trying.
And like Josh said, ABC, always
Always
be
be creative.
creative. Y'all have a great night. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Late Night Hype Show with your girl, the Voicestress, signing off. And
Easy.
yeah, easy in the building. Again, thank y'all for so much for tuning in. This has been a good numbers night for us. So I guess we're growing a little bit, I guess, huh?
Guess so.
And thank y'all so much for supporting and checking us out.
Shout out to y'all, mom. How about this?
Shout out, shout out.
I'm ready. I what?
Hmm?
Ready.
Witty. Oh, my shit was still on.
Stop
It,
believing.
it said we was off the thing.